Welcome, everyone, to the interview series with the authors of A Journey of Riches. I'm joined today by Matthew White. He's a real estate investor and a coach. He's a coach's coach and has a strategy where he helps coaches go from one-on-one to one-to-many. And we collaborate on a book together, Journey of Riches, Living into Self-Esteem. It's #1 international bestseller in 5 countries. And it's great to be chatting with you today, Matthew.
John, I am so excited to be having this chat with you. I've been looking forward to it all day, and I'm ready to dive into this. Super pumped.
Awesome. How was the chapter for you going through it and writing it? It was quite deep in aspects, and I feel like you've probably told it before, maybe from stage, but not in a book format.
Yeah, I probably went a bit more deeper in the book than I did. Typically, you got more time and more lines to write stuff out in a book than when you're on stage and you're talking about this. But it was really interesting when I started writing it, the first day that I sat down to think about it, and I was laying out all the parts of the story, and it was bringing me down memory lane in a way that I hadn't experienced before. Thinking about my journey from where I started, as a young kid to where I am now, a successful business entrepreneur. And it really helped me to really understand some of the core things that had kind of forged my journey, which is, some of the things I hadn't thought about for many years, my childhood, my upbringing, the things that I faced, some of the bullying. Like, I wasn't expecting to have that deep monologue going on when I was writing it, but it was definitely interesting to dive into that and kind of unpack that through the book, and it was a little bit therapeutic, I have to say. But it also, made me realize the gratitude as well of where, when you realize that no matter what life throws at you, no matter what struggles you face, like if you believe in yourself, that's self-esteem. Like if you have that inside of you, you can break through any challenges, any barriers, really. And I didn't know I had that intrinsically, but diving into the book and thinking about those parts of my journey, like the struggles and the battles that I faced as a young kid, which forged me now in business. You talk about in school, there were bullies, right? Everybody faces bullies, I'm sure, except for the bullies, maybe. But all those things, all those struggles made me stronger. And at some points, I thought I was going to give up, and I went through a lot of struggles in my life. But breaking through and realizing that self-belief is everything, right? Self-belief is the core of if you want to have a good life, you have to believe in yourself. No one else is going to believe in you. No one else has the things that, like, everyone thinks about themselves, right? So if you believe in yourself, like, that's all you have. And it really highlighted all of that for me going into that book.
Yeah, that's a very good point. That we've got to believe in ourselves first before anyone else will. That's for sure. And you demonstrated that, throughout your journey, that you had to do that. Ultimately, you had to take a chance on yourself and back your that belief with action. And there was a few, I guess, helter-skelter moments, not to give too much away, but where you were involved in construction at quite a high level as a supervisor, and you literally burnt your bridges. That must have taken a lot to actually decide, you know what, I'm just going to go for it and give myself no option to return.
Yeah, that's an interesting story in and of itself. I'll give you the version which isn't in the book, which is a little bit more eclectic. So I was working in construction. I started out sweeping floors in construction. I came out of school, I had no experience, I had no formal education, even though I tried. I think my ADHD kind of prevented me from getting stuck in and studying, and I ended up in construction, which was a good and a bad thing. It was good because It was bad because it was I had to work my butt off. It was good because when I worked my butt off, I could stand out, and I never realized at the beginning like that I was actually a hard worker. And so I got stuck into working in construction, and I found myself rising up through the ranks pretty quickly because I would work longer, work harder, put my hand up to do the extra things, and all the other guys were just being lazy and just, getting the paycheck to paycheck. But I wanted, I've always wanted to have more. And so I got myself into a position where I had a construction manager mentor me. He saw that I had potential, and he kind of gave me the ability to start leading in a way that I never thought I would actually be good at. But it turns out I was really good at this role, being a construction manager or managing construction sites. I started off small at first, and I kind of built myself up from doing foreman to managing projects to being full-on construction manager. I was doing projects as much as $180 million, big projects, and the pressure was intense. When I got into this, it was all fun and games, growing. Like construction life is a rough life, a lot of camaraderie. There's a lot of drinking and all that kind of stuff that goes with it. But as I got older, I was like, man, I don't know if this is for me anymore, right? I didn't want to be in that environment. It's a harsh environment, and when you're especially when you're at the top, budgets are tight, and you've got to be pushing hard and consistently. And when you're pushing hard and consistently, there's resistance. There's always resistance, right? People, slackiness, laziness, problems, issues, things that don't go the way you want them to do. And so day after day, I was going into this role, just feeling totally anxious and tense. I just didn't want to do this thing. And I remember one morning I was, I'd decided to quit because I was pursuing another business or career. I wanted to get into coaching and teach people. And I didn't know how that was going to happen. I didn't even know if I was going to be able to do anything but it was this thing I had in my mind. I wanted to make my own way, create my own direction in life. And I quit my job the first time. It was an easy thing to do at that time. I quit. But the week after I quit, my boss called me up and he said, "Hey, we've got this new project." And he said, I'm going to give you this extra bonus if you complete this job. And it was an offer I couldn't refuse. Like the money was really good. And I was like, oh. So I went back and then I did this project. And after the project, I was like, that's it. I'm done. I'm gone. I'm over. And I left again. And lo and behold, he calls me up again, offers me another crazy offer. And I was like, oh man. My partner, Sahara, she was like, you shouldn't be doing this, right? Just you got the mission. Let's go do something else. And anyway, I got caught up in this thing 5 times, right? 5 extra projects. Like there was, like if I calculate the income now versus the amount of money that I earned working with him, it's crazy. Like I lost a lot of money. But anyway, regardless of that, I then got to myself. Got so worked up. I was like, I got to burn my bridges here somehow. I got to like make it so that I just can't go back ever again. Like there has to be done and dusted. How am I going to do that? And so I kind of plotted, and I gone through this process. We're doing this project. The project goes amazing. We finish it ahead of schedule, and it's great bananas, right? My boss is happy. Everybody's happy. The project managers are happy. The developers happy. Everyone's happy. So I said, I'm giving my notice in. And on the last day that I was there, I decided to throw a party. And I got all the big wigs of the party, of the construction thing, people that I've been in business with, doing stuff for quite a long time. And we got absolutely drunk. Super drunk. I got more drunk than anybody else because I went through and I just abused everybody. Every single body, I just abused them. It was an absolute mess. Now, I'm not proud of it. And I'm not proud of the decision, but I had to do that because I had to put my back against the wall and say, like, enough is enough. And if I didn't do that, I was never going to make the shift and change and get to where I am now today. And that was a fundamental decision of believing in myself that I could do the thing. And the morning before that morning, I was driving to work in Melbourne. It was raining. And I remember there was a sea of cars in front of me. You know, the red lights, just a sea of red lights around. Everything was just going slowly along the promenade, along the beachfront in Melbourne. And I took out my phone and I took a photo, which I still have today. I took a photo of all the cars and everything in front of me. There was drips of rain on the windscreen. And this photo I have today, and it was a reminder. And that moment when I took it, I said to myself inside, I'm going to tell people about this one day from a position of authority, from a position of success. And this is my starting point. And that photo has been with me for many, many years. I've talked about it many times, but I took it for a reason. And in that moment, believing in myself that I was going to be in that place one day, I believe it's allowed me to accomplish great things in my life and have a good journey from that point on.
It's a fascinating story and a testament to, self-belief, and also knowing yourself that you knew that if you didn't burn the bridges, that you might go back a sixth, seventh, eighth time with these contracts. And I believe you had quite a property portfolio, and that you were looking to share like a real estate strategy from the stage. That's kind of like how you got started, and then you branched out into helping other people. Doesn't matter what sort of coaching or personal development industry, then basically be of service rather than just one-to-one all the time, serving many people.
Okay, I'll dive into that story. Yes, it was an interesting journey. So I come out of this construction game, and we get a whole lot of we'd been buying real estate. I met my partner Sahara, and we got into this niche of real estate, and we started buying these properties in the premise of renting out bedrooms in the properties. So what would happen then is that we'd turn these properties from negative to cash flow positive. They'd be earning more money than what they'd cost. Now, when we first did that, we were like, "Woohoo, this is amazing. We can just go around and go and set up these houses, rent out rooms, and it will be great." Anyway, what happened was we didn't realize there was like pretty strict regulation around this. At the time, we didn't know, but the councils came and they shut us all down, all of our properties. Now, I just quit my job, burnt my bridges, and the council came and shut us down and took away all of our revenue stream. I was like, what the heck? The universe is going to tell me something. And it was at that moment, it was pretty bad. It was a pretty dark place because I'd lost all my income. The council, to restore or get these properties compliant, was going to cost us like something like $270,000. And we just invested all our money into the properties and finishing them up and all that kind of stuff. So we were like relying on this income. And anyway, it was an absolute disaster. But I was like adamant that there had to be a solution, right? I had no choice. My back was now really against the wall, and I had to figure out a way for us to break free from this or break through this. And I was really annoyed that there would be this kind of regulation and that it was so strict, and then there was all these things around it. I was like, it had to be a bit simpler than this. Somebody was making it more complicated than it needed to be for me in my head, because I've been in construction. It was like, there's got to be a regulation or a blueprint or something around this that can be worked out much easier. That was my life, right? In construction, you always had to find solutions. So lo and behold, I'm reading through all this regulation, and I'm going through it, and I'm backwards and forwards with the council, and we discover a loophole. It was a loophole. It was a gray area, and I'm like, wait a minute, there's something here. And so we started pushing back on the council. Turns out that this loophole's gray area was valid, and I was like, awesome. And we were able to get all of our properties back on track from this gray area. Like the council was like, yes, yeah, fine, you can do that. And so we got everything back. We put all the people back in the properties, and boom, we had income coming in. And somebody heard about this, and we started helping other people because it saved people like literally like $100,000 on a property, and it was making them money in cash flow. So it was a huge thing that we discovered, and no one else was doing it. And we went to this event, and this promoter of this event was saying that what we were doing was impossible. Like it was impossible. It couldn't be done. And then I showed him that we're doing it, and he was like, "Awesome, come and speak on my stage." I was like, so me and Sahara got jimmied up, and we went around the country speaking on stage, not really selling, but talking to people about what we were doing and how we were helping people with this gray area. And it became so popular, like people were just kind of queuing up to come and do business with us. And it was great. Like for about 6 or 7 months, we were on stage touring, doing this thing, and we're just wrecked. Like people were just queued up to come and do business with us because of this gray area, because no one had ever done this before. And it was awesome. But then as life goes, the promoter got a little bit greedy. I don't know. He wasn't happy with the way things were going. And anyway, he kicked us off stage, stole our IP, and started selling the thing himself, because now he knew how to do that. And we were out on the streets, literally, and we were like back and starting all over again. And this is the belief part, right? Believing in yourself. Like I knew that we had an offer, like we had this really cool thing that we knew it was, people wanted this. I just didn't know how I was going to sell it. Like I'm a construction worker, or I was a construction worker, right? I have this thing when I'm talking on stage, and I call him Bob, because it was like so long ago. I'm very different now to what it was like then, right? Bob had no idea. He couldn't turn on a freaking computer. He didn't know anything about marketing or writing emails or all this kind of stuff. I had to work really hard to learn all these things. But anyway, we started from scratch. We built a little website. We built a little website, and then we started throwing up some ads, and had a battle with the ads for a while until I figured things out. And then all of a sudden, boom, my calendar just started getting crazy busy. And it's just been like that for quite a few years, probably 8, 9 years. It was just boom, 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 people wanting to come and do business because we had this really cool thing. And what happened was, over a period of time, like I was selling on phone calls, selling to people, right? So it was a one-on-one thing. And I became really good at the whole process. It became really easy. But at some point, there were so many people coming down my pipeline that I just didn't want to take any more phone calls. And I was like getting really burnt out, like this consistency of just this barrage of people. And I was like, I got to get out of this thing. And so I got a sales team. Well, that's what everyone said. Get a setter in the sales team. It'll save your life, blah, blah, blah. So I did the thing. Got a sales team come in, and I started doing the thing. And I don't know if you've ever worked with sales teams or sales people. Like you have you have to constantly be motivating. You have to constantly. It was more work doing that than what it was for me just to take the damn phone calls myself. Plus, I had to pay like all these big commissions and stuff. And anyway, it was driving me absolutely bonkers. KPIs were up and down. They weren't following scripts. They were just doing their own thing. And then they would, if they weren't making sales, I had to motivate them. Anyway, eventually I was just like, done. I can't do this anymore. So I let them go, and I was back on the phone calls again. And that was, we're making money. I can't complain because we were making money, right? And I'm grateful for that, hugely grateful. But one day I was just like, I had enough. I got it done. I don't want to have any more phone calls. I was like hiding under my desk, like, oh, please don't call me. You have to take the calls, right? You have to, because it's your business. And so one day I was like, I heard these guys talking about selling one-to-many. I'd never heard of this thing before, right? Even though I was on stage, I heard there was a different perspective. Somebody else was paying for the ad. Somebody else was bringing all the people in and all this kind of thing. And I was like, I had this memory, like I did this thing on stage, and so I was like, maybe I should try that. I should have just done that in the first place. But anyway, 8 years later, I'm like, I'm going to try that. So I ran this little experiment. Now, over this time, I got really good with Facebook ads and doing all these ads and stuff. And I got really, really good at that. And so I redirected the ads that we were running to an event, a small event. And I didn't want to, I was really nervous and scared. I was like, I don't know what to expect, right? And I was like, I'm just going to spend $1,000 on this event. Like, that's it. That's $1,000, no more. And I blew my budget by $2. So I spent $1,002 at the end of this. But it was crazy. Like all these people registered and da da da. And I was down in St. Kilda. I hired I didn't even hire it. I went into this place and I said, I've got 50 people coming to this event. Have you got space? I said, yeah. I said, how much? I said, for free. I said, sweet. So they had to set me up this amazing, really little cool spot. We're like 50 people. And it was really a free gig. And all these people, like me and Sahara were sitting there, we're getting all ready and everything. And I was like, no one's going to rock up to this. Like, I'm just, no way. Anyway, eventually people started coming in. I was like, wow, that's awesome. So we had people come in. Eventually it turned out there was about 30 people, 27 people in that seated, which is great. Like I'd never done this before. And so I did my presentation. A whole lot of people were really cool, keen about everything. And we sold about just about $320,000 worth of deals in that small room. And it was like if I had done that same amount of work on phone calls, phoning people, it would take me like 8 weeks to do the same amount of stuff I did in this one event. Like that was the whole shift. And I was like, man, that's amazing. More people should be doing this. Like you get people together and you just sell to a whole lot of people at the same time. Like it's just so much better. That shifted my entire journey, and I'm kind of moved into that event consulting space now. So I'm helping people set up the events. Nowadays, it's really cool because like you and me, we're in different parts of the world, right? On Zoom, and we can chat. So you can do these virtual events, right? These virtual meetings, and it's becoming really popular. And so we're helping people make profit doing that. And it's been really amazing, meeting so many cool people doing this thing. So we still have our real estate business. It kind of just tips away, but we're more diving into this event consulting space now.
That's okay. There you go.
We're diving into this event consulting space now, and it's just yeah, really enjoying that.
Wow, what a transformation. Just how, like it was just seemed very synchronistic how it all came together.
It's so weird, right? When the bad times happen, you always think the world is falling apart, right? But when you look at it from the perspective, when you look backwards, you see all the things that you've done in your life, even the small things. Like it's like maybe they were all just for a reason to get you to the place, right? Where you've got to be, where you are right now.
Yeah, I believe that. And that one of the themes that I noticed, in the book, in our book, was that self-esteem is a journey rather than it being an endpoint. So we're always learning and growing and developing. How do you sharpen the saw? And you strike me as someone that's very disciplined. I think I read once on Facebook of one of your routines, like getting up at like 4:30 in the morning and having done that for like 8 years or something. Is that one of the things that help you sharpen the saw and keep on that edge of of an elevated self-esteem
Wow.
and self-belief?
Yes. So discipline. It's a hard thing, discipline, but in order to have a fulfilled life, you have to be disciplined. Discipline brings in the whole, like if you if you slack about stuff, you're buying into time that would be valuable with your family, right? Like if you're disciplined and you do the thing at work and you do the thing in your job or your business, then you've got more time to enjoy life or do things in life that are more valuable. I as a kid, well, when I got to Australia, even I was really chubby. I was really fat, and
Right.
I had my ex-wife, and we had a kid, anyway, we separated. But my kid was really young, and I was going with her to these play centers, right? Imagine, like I looked quite, I was really chubby, right? I was bad. And so anyway, I'd go to these play centers with my daughter, and I would be like out of breath in like 2 minutes. She'd be running around and stuff, and I'll be like, man, this is not fair. I can't do this. And one day I was going into one of these play centers, and I stopped for a minute, and I was looking around at what other parents were doing, and it was a real eye opener, right? There's so many parents that go just ignoring their kids. You just see them all in their mobile phones, and their kids are sitting with them, and they've got these unhealthy foods and their fish and chips and the rubbish. And I was like, man, do I want to be that role model for my child? Like, what do I want to do out of my life? Like, what do I want to really accomplish here? What kind of decision do I want to make to show her that I'm going to be the best father that I could possibly be? And one day she'll say, like, you did your best you could possibly do. And that's kind of the triggering moment. One of the triggering moments for me was to be more disciplined. That journey started from me wanting to show my daughter that I could be the best version of myself. And so it took me probably about 6 months, but I stripped down all the body fat, and I locked myself into a premise of no excuses. Right? I wrote it on the wall. I have it everywhere I have. Focus and no excuses. That's my values, or that's my principles. And I live by that, right? No excuses. If something is hard, or there's a problem in my life, or there's something that I can't deal with, it's no excuses. Let's get it done. It's that simple. And I live by that. I wake up in the morning, if I feel like it's cold, I don't want to go do exercise. No excuses, man. Go do it. No excuses. And so that's probably one of the most fundamental things I have in my life, is that I have no excuses. Now, when I started, I had no idea about performance and productivity and all this kind of stuff. Over the years, I've built a very solid routine. We all got to have routines. If you have a good morning routine, I found the morning routine for me is the one thing that has helped me stay super disciplined. And I say, if you don't have a morning routine, you are never going to be able to perform at your best. Like the mornings, the early mornings, it's evolved. It's become very professional these days. It used to be kind of ish stuff, but now I'm like super to the T. I'll wake up straight into meditation. I'll clear my head. I don't touch mobile phones for at least 2 hours after waking up. Like, even if I get tempted to, I get angry with myself if I even look at the phone. So no phones from when I wake up. So 4 a.m. wake up. I do a meditation. I clear my head. Count down. I have a countdown process where I count down from 10, really relax, get rid of all the stuff in my head. I'll go and either walk, exercise, or cycle. First thing in the morning, I take my dog, we go, boom. Have some pre-workouts if I'm doing exercise, and then we'll just go into that session. I love doing that because that sets me up for an amazing day. Like coming into my office, like I'm buzzing. I have a cold, like when I come back from workouts, I have a shower, a cold shower, really, really hot shower, like it's burning my skin, or a really, really cold shower. So I'm like shivering when I get out of it. And it used to be hard to do that, but no excuses, right? And I forced myself to do it, and now it's become second nature. And so that first morning routine has become like the gold. Like no one disturbs me. Like if anyone disturbs me between 4 and 12 p.m., 12 o'clock in the afternoon, I get really shitty with them. All my clients know, my staff know, my partner knows, everybody knows that between 4 a.m. and 12 p.m., do not disturb me because I'm focused, fully energized, and I'm doing creative stuff, and I'm building our business and doing things. After 12 p.m., well, okay, go for another walk, and then I'll do the management stuff. And you know what a big difference that's made in my life? It's huge. Can't even explain. Like doing that, what it's done for our business and our life. It's really good. So that's where the discipline part comes from. I'm just stuck with it.
Yeah, that's inspiring. That's really inspiring, especially the cold showers in Melbourne. Wow, you're really taking the no excuses to another level. And that's the thing, your body's thanking you for it, I'm sure. Less aches and pains and yeah, more energized, more productive.
It's so good. You know what? It's not actually that bad if you just, for me anyway, it's like when you just set your mind in the right place and you just do the thing, your
Yeah.
body just adapts, right? And we got such a resilient. This is the thing, people don't realize how resilient our bodies actually are. Like they're crazy resilient, and we should allow them to be doing good things for us, right? You got to exercise, get cold water, get cold showers, ice baths, right? Eating healthy, all these things. Your body wants to give you the best life. You got to just look after it that way, right?
Right. Yeah, I love that. And yeah, it seems like you've really found your edge in that, and you know what works for you, and a routine that yields results both financially and then also for the health benefits as well. From the version of when before you started to the version you are now, how long have you been doing that routine for?
8 years, not probably, yeah, 8 years, 8 years solid. I think I've had about 4 years of solid cold showers. And I haven't, probably 4 solid years of 4 a.m. exercises now. So it hasn't stopped. So, I mean, I'm 52 now, and I'm in a better shape in my life. I'm in better shape now than I was when I was 18. Fitter, healthier, faster. It's crazy. I can't believe it.
Yeah, yeah, that's impressive. That's awesome. And wow, yeah, that's really cool. Really cool. And what do you what do you suggest for people that are wanting to elevate their sense of self-worth and belief? Is it so getting a morning routine in place, having discipline and not yielding on certain aspects of one's routine?
Man, such a good question. The imposter syndrome, the self-doubt, the fear of failure, the voices in your head, right? They never stop. No matter
Yeah.
what place you're in life, they never stop. And I've struggled with those internal voices for many years. And one of the like I would and this is the thing, right? Like I would wake up and I'd be anxious because you got to pay bills, you got staff to pay, you got all these things going on a day that's full on. And in the big, like quite a few years ago, I'd wake up and just get into my day and start doing things. And I found that by the time I would get halfway through the day, I would be like worn out or burnt out, right? There's all the one-on-one sales calls and all that kind of stuff, even though I was trying my best to keep healthy. And I just couldn't get a handle on these damn voices in my head, right? Fear of failure, all the doubts and all that kind of stuff. And I tell you, and it must be for some reason, Sahara came to me one day and she was talking about this dude from Mind Valley who had it was just literally an ad on the internet. And I was listening to the ad and he was talking about this thing called the De Silva method or something. And I haven't bought the product or anything like that, but he was talking about counting. Now, just before that, I was reading Mel Robbins' book, and she was talking about the 5-4-3-2-1 principle that she has, right? It's really good. And this guy from Mindbody, I forget what his name is. Anyway, so sorry.
Vishen?
Vishen, yes, Vishen.
Yeah.
It was talking about this thing where you found that if you woke up, when you wake up in the morning, you start counting down and really relax. I thought that, like, and at first I thought it was a lot of rubbish, but then I was like, I'm one of those guys that were like, okay, at least you got to try it once, see what this stuff is all about. And it's funny because it was so super powerful. Like, it was pretty transformational. I will wake up, as soon as I wake up, within 4 or 5 minutes of waking up, just relaxing in your bed and just counting down and focusing on the numbers from 10 to 0, getting really, really, really relaxed. Man, that was, you know how it just, my entire life just shifted because my mind was in much more control throughout the day. Like, it was crazy. I will do that even 1 or 2 times during the day. But that simple shift, waking up and just counting and just meditating at the moment where you wake up, try it. Anyone that's watching this, like, try it. It's crazy. It's amazing. As you wake up, right? Don't think about it. Just sit up straight and then just count down very slowly and just focus on the numbers. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and just relax. Be as relaxed as you can. Let all the stuff that's going on in your head just kind of float away. It's crazy. Your mind goes super focused. Don't go touching your mobile phone after that because it'll come all back again. But your mind just gets super clear. It's like crazy good. So give it a crack. Try it tomorrow morning. You're gonna be surprised. Maybe you're already doing it. I don't know. Maybe you got your own little super cool tricks. But that has been an absolute game changer for me. And it was just by Sahara just mentioning this thing, and I was like, then I tried it, and now I'm doing it, and it's like, whoa, that's pretty cool. Now, we'll come back to your question. The opposite of self-belief, or all like feeling confident yourself, right? All those voices in your head, like being able to control those. Like, for me, it's been the biggest. Like, every day I work to learn more and do more, to try and be more energized and to be more focused and to let those voices go so that I can be the best version of me. And that comes from things like meditation. It comes from things like eating well. It comes from things like exercise, right? All those things are super important, as well as spending time just maybe saying the words, I believe I am. I believe I can do this thing, right? I know I can do this thing. I know I can do this thing, right? But putting yourself in that place and mentally with all those things, because it's not just one thing, John. I've learned, anyway, for me personally, I've learned that it's a multitude of things that you have to do consistently every day. And then when you stop doing it, like, things come back, your mind goes crazy. But if you constantly be disciplined and focus on eating well, exercising, looking after yourself, being grateful, gratitude, saying the words, I believe in myself, I care, I believe in myself, and I get to do this life. I get to do these things in this world, right? I get to do it. Somebody once famous said that recently, and I was like, that's super awesome. I get to have this life. I get to do this thing. I get to have an interview with you, right? I get to do these things. I'm very, very lucky and fortunate to be able to do these things. And if you come from that perspective, I think it puts you in a better framing, better life framing.
Yeah, 100%. It's a privilege. It really is. And there are, the things that we complain about, there's, thousands, if not millions of people that would do anything to have those complaints in their life. And I don't know if you've traveled, well, you grew up in Africa, and so you're seeing the poverty firsthand. And yeah, there would be thousands of people that would like to swap lives and have the problems that we can often complain about. And yeah, I have a morning routine myself. I track and measure everything that I do.
Tell me about it. I want to hear yours. I want to hear yours. Tell me your
so I have
morning
data.
routine. Yes.
So I get
Go
data.
for it.
Yeah, so I use Insight Timer, and so it has different. You can track and measure your moods. So different activities that I do on the daily will create like certain moods. So if I find myself feeling a little bit down or whatever, then, the actual app will suggest, well, why don't you do a chakra meditation, or why don't you do yoga, or, walking and exercise. And so I have these things that, if I don't do them, then the app actually reminds me, especially when I'm checking in different moods and maybe my mood's a bit flat. And so it's incredible. I haven't missed a day in almost 2,000 days. I think it's like 1,955 days or something without missing a day. And it helps with other
What is
areas of
that
life
called?
just to be consistent.
What is it called?
Insight Timer.
Insight
And it's a
Timer.
free app. It's a free app. Yeah, I bought a year's subscription last year. I never used it, but I thought, they've given me so much value for free. I'll just use it for a year. I didn't use any of the bonuses, but just wanted to, as my way of saying thank you for this tool, Insight Timer. It's been a game changer for me, and just being consistent in all areas, right? If you're consistent in one area, then it's a lot easier for you to shift and have that, because it's a mindset, as you're saying, to jump in a cold shower, it's a mindset. You just get yourself ready, prepared, and you jump in, and shock comes less and less and less. And you start looking forward to those sort of moments because it make you feel so alive, and I feel that that's one of the things that having my morning routines really helped me experience a broad spectrum of emotions, even when I have maybe feelings, and it could be coming from a past or whatever, wherever they come from, is to let them go. Feel them. Feelings. There's what's the saying? A feeling is the healing, something like that, and it just releases them, and they dissipate, and they don't. You can just come back and be focused to what you're doing. And so it's been an absolute game changer for me, having a morning routine and just being. It's a non-negotiable for me. So.
Yeah. How long is your morning routine for?
Generally, it's about an hour and a half every morning. So
good. From the minute you wake up until the minute you're getting into your work.
Yeah, so I jump out of bed. The first thing I do is I jump on the yoga mat. And so, and I'm doing an hour, at least an hour of yoga, consistently doing about an hour, a minute of 10 yoga every morning. So, and then I'll do other things as well, like throughout the day.
So you're going straight into a meditative state straight as soon as you wake up as well.
Oh. Yeah.
How good is that?
Straight away. Mind, body, spirit. Yeah, it's everything. Really is, because then you get in. Find myself getting like inspirations or things that I have to be mindful of, or other times it's just complete surrender, just letting go entirely. And it's really another thing that's really helped me with is my intuition, to be intuitive. And so
self-awareness.
Self-awareness, a lot more synchronicity, spontaneity. And I find there's a lot of happiness and joy in those moments.
Wow. I love it. I love that so much. You know what? I was reminiscing with my dad. He's an old school guy, right? And I was like, the world has changed so much, right? Like we're dads, we're older now. Like my dad would never have a conversation like this. Like he would be like, he'd be like shaking his head going, you're puff or what?
You're meditating. What's wrong with you?
So funny, man. This world has changed.
Sorry. Yeah. And I guess the era that he grew up in, and in South Africa, I guess you had to be, the man was, toughen up, harden it up, and all those sort of these sayings that, you're probably introduced to, but they don't really work so well. It's suppressing emotions and angry and not being able to be vulnerable and being comfortable with vulnerable conversations and a depth of conversations. But I find it fascinating that, he was probably one of your greatest teachers because of the things that he didn't do, my father was like that. It was, And that's, I guess, in some higher realm that, that's kind of like the agreement that we have, on
Yeah,
a
yeah,
spirit level.
that's true,
It's a
right?
whole other depth and perspective to our reality than, a lot of us realize.
And we're really privileged to be able to have the age and time that we're living in. Like there's so many, so many different and cool, scary, cool things happening. Like technology is evolving so fast. Like my my friend, he sent me a message just the other day, right? I don't know if you've heard about this new technology called peptides. And there's this whole rage of peptides going around in the world, right? Because peptides are like a baseline amino acid in our bodies, and that when when taken in a certain way can do really good beneficial things to your body. He sent me this um, message that said, throw everything out of the cupboards. There's this new peptide that's just coming. You don't even have to go and exercise. You just lose weight. Like, man, this stuff's crazy. I said, when are you going to make a peptide that washes my damn washing?
Yeah, yeah, right. Cooks my food.
That's so funny, right? All this world is
Yeah.
changing fast.
Yeah, there is something for the little things in life, the small things, the ordinary moments that are so easily take for granted. And you mentioned about gratitude and being appreciative, and I feel that that's just so important, and it's so easy to. And for myself, I've got to catch myself on the daily, to see things that are wrong and how we can improve this or systemize that, and just for me, just stopping and being grateful that I'm in this position. I am where I am now in this point in time in the world, and rather than getting too caught up for myself in the constant self like improvement, improvement, improvement. Is that something that you've had to confront and face?
A lot. There's
Yeah.
two things, right? It's like gratitude, and it's hard. It's hard to be grateful sometimes. Like it's hard to you take it for granted, right? Like we take so much of our life for granted. I was actually just thinking about gratitude today and how we don't spend enough time being grateful and seeing the positive things in the things around us. We as human beings are attracted to the negativity quite often. So gratitude is something that I have to admit that I need to work on more, but I
Mm,
respect it needs to be done more consistently. But what I do, and I'm doing a whole lot more of these days, which I'm proud of, is taking responsibility of where I am. I am here because I made the decisions in my life to do whatever thing it is that I've done to get here. And I need to take ownership of that and be responsible. And that responsibility means I need to be looking after the people around me. And that then
mm,
brings back gratitude. And so I'm working on it on a daily basis. But gratitude for me is something like I was actually out this morning thinking about how grateful I am for the things that I do have. And I need to be respectful for that more frequently in my life to resonate that, right? To bring that energy into what I'm doing. But taking responsibility is something that I've been working on so much in the last while. Because when you got staff, and we got staff around the world, so they're like global, and I'm sure you probably do the same. Um, they don't have the connection, right? There's no like in the old days you'd have an office, everyone be in the office, there'd be camaraderie in that. So it's very easy to get to have broken communication because of the distances and because of the this global staff that we have. And so I constantly think like whenever there's a breakdown or a breakdown of communication or a problem or something goes wrong or is missing, what I've been doing lately, and I've been doing it, I think I've been doing a better job of it than I've ever done, is taking responsibility and saying, well, instead of getting upset about that, how about just owning it and seeing what was the thing that caused this? What was the downline that got to this? And usually it always comes back to me. I'm the one that's always
right.
responsible. And by taking on that ownership and being responsible, it's definitely shifted for my staff. It's shifted the energy, and people are more open to talking, back-to-back feedback, and it's created a much nicer environment rather than, we always want to point fingers and like, why did you do that? What is that the reason for that? Rather than coming from the perspective of saying like, okay, this thing's happened. Where was the breakdown, and how can we fix that so it never happens again? And it's a different mindset. But yeah, gratitude is gratitude is something we all need to be working on a daily basis, because it's not just being grateful for who you are, where you are, and all that kind of stuff, and the people around you. It's a gratitude that we have for humanity, right? It's a gratitude that we have to bring all of us together as alignment, that we can all have a better life, right? And I know that's a big thing to say, and there's so much suffering in this world, but why not? Why can't we all just be happy?
Right.
Maybe one of these days AI will become so good that it will balance things out. We can all live a happier life, go traveling around the universe and spaceships and stuff. That'll be really good.
Well, yeah, I guess we're technically doing that already, traveling through space on a rock. Yeah.
Technically, yes, we are, yes.
Yeah, I mean, unless, I don't know, apparently there's a flat Earth movement that's gaining some traction. I don't know how, but there's people that generally believe that the Earth is flat. But yeah, I guess it takes all different perspectives to create our existence. So yeah, I think there's a theory for everything.
I think sometimes people just want to be opposite so that they can be opposite.
Yeah, I think so. I used to do that as a kid. Yeah.
Too true, too true. This has been fun, John. I've enjoyed this conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, likewise. Yeah, it's been good getting understanding more about your process, and I really appreciate your honesty about where you're at and what you're working on, and it's just awesome, refreshing to hear how transparent you are on what you're working on, why you're doing it, and what's important, and why is it important, and what do you have do you have sessions where you do like goal setting with you and your team, or I like to see myself 5 years time doing XYZ.
Yeah, we have a goal of we're selling out we have 8 years, 9 years left. We want to sell out at 100 million. That's our
Okay.
target. So we have a big
Yeah.
audacious goal, moonshot, that we've built out in our business. So we're all working towards that. But I don't like to set goals in terms of five-year plans, because usually when you do that, you never really get them, because things change.
Things do change. Yes,
Sorry,
things change. Unexpected roadblocks, but yeah, okay. So I'm interested to learn what it is that you do instead of 5-year plans.
So we work on weekly targets. We have a simple roadmap that we want to get the business to a certain income. So that's the drive. Like, we know we got to do that. So every week we're creating those like, we have to have this thing done by this week, and so we'll set goals for each week, maybe 2 weeks ahead. That's as far as we really plan, and it's been really good doing that, because we know the big thing that we got to get to. And for us, it's like, how much stuff can we get done today to get us towards that goal? And so it's all my team, like, this is the mantra that I say, like, what's next? What's next? What's next? What we're going to do next to get us to that goal? What's next? So that's a big thing that we have in our office. Like, it's like, so if there's like, they've run out of what tasks to do, it's like, what's next? Speak to Matthew. What's next? What's next? So that what's next kind of movement in our office is keeping everyone constantly moving forward to that goal, and not thinking about being overwhelmed or there's lots to do or whatever. It's just like, what's the next thing? What's the next thing we got to do? Like, what's the next needle mover that we've got to do right now that's going to get us to that space. So that's how we kind of live in our business at the moment. And it's really good because there's no real pressure in terms of like these 5-year goal things. This is like, how much can we possibly do today to get us towards that goal? And that's just, we work hard. And then when the time is up, we go relax. Work hard, as I say, work hard, play hard.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, it sounds inspiring, and yeah, it sounds like you got a very motivated workplace, and one that everyone keeps each other accountable to the task at hand. Do you
No,
guys
no meetings.
have
No
no
meetings.
meetings? No.
No, we do. We have a meeting, but we never have meetings in the morning. We have them
Okay.
right at the end of the day. Because meetings just mess up the day.
Yeah, they can go way too long. That's true. And do you guys have like a regular outing where you might do team building or go paintball shooting or something like that? No.
All our staff is spread around the world.
Oh,
Sunny in
that's right.
Sahara,
Yeah.
they go see each other. Everyone is like, Europe or Indonesia, all
Right.
over the place.
Yeah.
So it's weird. It's
Yeah.
different.
Me too. Me too. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a
That's
different
cool.
world these days, right? Like we do our team
True.
building. Our team building is on Zoom.
Yeah, I can relate to that. Our team building's all done on Zoom. Totally.
It's
Yeah. It's
different
just when you
world.
were saying the office, in the office, I just had this image in my mind. Oh, they're at an office. But I remember you saying that, yes, you guys are spread around globally.
It's a virtual office. So to be fair, so how we have our office set up is I have multiple computers, and
Uh-huh.
the computers have audio on, and so all my team stream into the computers that we have here in the office. So they don't
Okay.
work on their computers at home. They work on the computers here in our office. So I can monitor, see, and if there's a problem, I can help break through those very
Cool.
quickly. So
I
we're
like it.
literally talking to each other during the day as though we were in an office because all the mics are on. But it's
Okay.
everyone's got their own thing going on wherever they are in the world. So that's how we've set ourselves up. It works really well.
Well, that's cool. And what is it through TeamViewer, is it?
Splashtop. We use Splashtop.
Oh, Splashtop. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's neat. Okay, cool.
Splashtop is cheaper than TeamViewer, but it
Okay.
works really well. So yeah, I've got all these computers in the office. Yeah, it's just like everyone's in the office because I can watch them.
Yeah. Crack the whip.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. No, I like that. No, it's also so much better for communication, streamlining projects as well. Everyone knows where they're at because everyone can actually see. So there's a lot of advantages to that. So it's less likely to get miscommunication, or someone's done something already but no one knows about it, or
Yeah.
so yeah, I guess yeah.
When there's a problem or there's training and you can just speak and you can see it on the screen and just go
Yeah.
just like, so much quicker to then backwards and forwards emails and messages and blah, 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 get on the call. You just have the thing there and then we're talking through it. Okay, yeah, do that thing. Yeah, cool, done. Move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's cool. That's awesome. Yeah, yeah, wow, great. And do you guys use Slack at all for communication? No,
No.
it's just
No,
all done through Flash.
we
Okay.
do we've got WhatsApp. That's our main communication tool.
Okay.
We're doing
Okay.
messaging. I barely use email these days. Like I don't know, I can't
Yeah.
even remember how to open my email account.
Right.
So it's Messenger, WhatsApp, and what else? We use Go High Level. I don't know if you know what Go High Level is.
No, I haven't heard of it. No.
Yeah, so we use Go High Level because we've got a lot of our marketing stuff in there.
Okay.
You
Go
know,
high level.
have you got websites and stuff, right?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we've got one website. So
Go and check out Go High Level, man. It is insanely good. Like it's everything.
CRM. Uh-huh.
Everything in one package for like a very low cost fee. Like you don't need a
Okay.
calendar booking thing. You don't need a website thing. You don't need like everything's all in one place. Like everything you need for marketing. It's great.
Go high level.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll check it out. I'll make
Yeah.
a note of that. Okay, cool. Go high level. Awesome. Yeah, it's been great chatting with you. I was just wanted to get an understanding of like what is it that I mean, so you wrote this chapter, you know, we've had some amazing feedback. You've had some incredible feedback from people in your circle. What is it that you hope, if you had an intention that people could get just one thing from your chapter, what would you hope that was?
Good question. Wow, that's a deep question. And you know, if I was to go back and speak to my younger self, which is really what the thing is that I would want people to get out of this, it's like things like you got to go and get life. Life is not going to become magical by accident. No, like it's rare if that happens, right? You got to go and get life. Life is there to be had. And if I could go back and speak to myself many years ago when I first started out on my journey, I would have said, stop being afraid. I would say, stop being afraid of life. Stop being afraid of people. People don't care. Do your thing. Be the best version of you. Go and do life. I would do life a lot better, harder, faster.
Uh,
Life is awesome.
okay.
Yeah.
Life is awesome. Yeah, I feel it's one I can relate to as well with not being so afraid of things. I feel like I had like a massive breakthrough and I had this new like level of sensitivity. I didn't really know how to face that like sensitivity. And that was another thing that's really helped me with my morning routine. It's just this level of sensitivity and being afraid of like, well, okay, how am I being perceived and things like that. But I feel like it's 100% what you're saying is just do your thing. People actually don't really care. They don't give it a whole lot of thought, and not as much as we may think they do. And everyone's got their own, you know, struggles or things that they want to achieve and do. And yeah, people aren't at home, you know, scrutinizing, you know, the way we showed up, or you know, that's something that I struggle with, and I feel that's really good advice.
Yeah, man. The fear of what other people think, that is a big, that shuts a lot of people down. And
Yeah,
the thing is this, is people don't really care. We think they do, but they don't.
they don't.
You just got to be your version. You got to be the best version of you, best version you know you can be. Stop worrying about other people. Just go out and live
Yeah,
life. Be that life.
be that life. Oh, so awesome! And people can get our book. It's on Amazon. Journey of Riches: Living into Self-Esteem. All the proceeds go to Jules Children's Home, and yeah, we've raised a bunch of money already, enough for groceries for 38 kids for a month. And so we're doing that. It's pretty good for an ebook that was 99 cents. And yeah, so it's pretty exciting. And it's a book that you can read and read and reread.
That's legendary. Thank you so much, John. That's amazing.
Yeah, you're welcome, Matthew. I appreciate you and appreciate your time.
Awesome. Been great.
Okay, and if you'd like to get more of these videos, subscribe and we'll send them your way.
Cool, cool.
Cool. All right, so just, all right, looking for here we go.